when I realized I'd be competing with the Yankees game tonight, I tried to think, wait a minute, I've got a baseball poem somewhere. This is from an old book called Café, Millennium. And it's about a season that none of you probably remember. The Phillies had a great season in the 1990s, and they lost in the World Series. It was a very unlikely team. One player, his name might be known to you, is John Kruk, who was a commentator on ESPN now. In those days, he had hair. I mean, my hair is short compared to what his hair was, and he's fat, and his shirt tail was never tucked in. And he famously said after that amazing Phillies season, I believe he was on the Letterman show, one of the late-night talk shows, and I think it was Letterman, said, "Well, Mr. Kruk, you don't look like an athlete." And he said, "I ain't an athlete, I'm a baseball player." So this is from that old season. That summer was all Phillies and fishing. Well, almost all. There were precious trout that got away on certain days, with Mitch Williams' ninth innings, twilight relief when we slipped into sinning with worms and wild pitches, loading the bases and the cooler with dinner. We fished always till near dark, so on the long drive down from the Catskills, we could get the Phillies on the truck radio. After 8, they came clear. We gathered rocks from every stream we fished to build a waterfall in our yard. During afternoon games, we stacked the stones, shaped the pond and waterfall, while the Phillies played old-time ball, building a season like a fine dry stone wall. That summer was all Phillies and fishing, and sometimes gardening. And among the streams and mountains, among the leeks and corn, with powerful radio poised among hills of potatoes, terrifying strange beetles and bugs, Edenic syzygy of earth and air, appled atoms and Eve-grieving air waves, transcending space and pomme de terre, a rare second innocence, a strange glory was reborn. Listening to perhaps 100 games through thunder static and frequency drift, more games than I'd heard since the whiz kids ruled the 1950s, all down the long falling seasons. That summer when the Phillies reinvented baseball, I learned again that baseball is a ritual that dies on TV, that lives on radio, that lives in the home run voice of Harry Callis, that lives in the homespun jokes and stoic calls of Richie Ashburn, who still signs all autograph requests, as he did for me in 1950. That lives like Big Boy and Jet Star tomatoes, that lives in stadiums like Victory Gardens with scoreboards like waterfalls, and every out is a leaping trout, every hit, every home run is the heart-stopping big one, in oh, the whitewater freedom of fishing and gathering water-smoothed rocks rounded like baseballs in the Catskills, harvesting vegetables like unbroken circles, perfect and smooth as the ultimate O in the sweet, slow garden summer of fishing and the Phillies. It's for all Phillies